What's up, great people, and welcome to another episode of the Fabe Effect Podcast. I'm your host, Fabe, and I'm excited because I'm here live with 4 amazing singles, and we about to get real. We about to get so real that you may want to close the door. You may want to make sure the kids are asleep because we about to talk about the real deal when it comes to these relationships. As you all know, we have a love series going on. This is part 3 of my love series. And the first series was me by myself talking about different issues that I feel going on in relationships. Then I interviewed a great, lovely married couple, Shari and Justin. And now we're here with 4 amazing singles. And we're going to talk about what's really going on out in these streets. Because, you know, these days, what y'all say? Everybody for the streets.
For the streets.
For the streets. So I'm going to let my panel to introduce themselves first because I believe that people introduce themselves because they can talk about themselves better than I can. So we're going to start here with our boy, Devin.
What's going on, y'all? I'm Devin. Man, not much to it. That's me. That's my name.
Okay, that's me. Okay.
I don't got no artist name or none yet, so we go, keep rocking.
Hello. I am Kaya Fumba.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Derek Wilson.
Hi, I'm Crystal Kelly. I'm from Houston, Texas. I like long walks on the beach.
Yeah.
Fashion, you know.
Well, me too.
That's why it's called introduce yourself. You can do it how you want to do it.
Okay.
So no beaches near Atlanta, so I don't know where she's walking.
That should be going to Thailand.
That's probably going. So we're gonna dive right into the conversation. I don't want to hold nothing back because it's real. And I'm also a single, so you're really talking to 5 singles. But we're going to dive right into the conversation. I'm going to really start off on a high. So get ready, brace yourself. They have not received these questions either. So, get ready for the wrong
even though you said you was going to send them.
Yeah, I lied to you.
Bamboo never came.
I lied.
Right.
So my first question is not a question. It's a phrase, and you need to fill in the blank.
Okay.
The phrase is, if my ex blank, 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 I wouldn't be single. If my ex blank, 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 I wouldn't be single. Okay, I'll start to break the ice. If my ex was the right person for me, I wouldn't be single. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be good. She just wasn't the right person for me. And I knew that, I just had to make sure.
This might be a little bit too deep. People but if my ex would realize that I'm a strong woman and I'm not going to shut the fuck up, then I would not be single.
Heavy. Miss Fool, what you got? If your ex what?
If my ex did not lie, I wouldn't be single.
Not a liar.
Oh, man.
You see the brothers get quiet. They trying to figure out who was the ex.
Who, like, Ray, which one of us?
That's big pressure. I guess I'll go ahead and chime in. If my ex came along at a different point in my life, I wouldn't be single.
That's a grown man conversation right there. That's a grown man answer right there.
Yeah. I don't want to just copy out, but I feel the same way. It's sometimes you meet the right person at possibly the wrong time. So
that's true. Let's talk about it. Do y'all believe that it's really a right time to meet somebody though?
I'm gonna be very. Listen, I probably had more dating experience, but I think more so for men, it's the right time for y'all because women will make themselves ready.
Exactly.
We will conform. We're like, oh, girl, I gotta learn how to cook. I gotta learn how to do this. Men can be with a woman for 5 years, date the next woman, date them for 6 months, and then marry them the next 6 months. And because it's the right time for them, what they want to do. So to that statement, I think it's for men more so than women.
Okay.
Sure.
I can agree.
I can
agree because I think men it's really a time thing. Where it is really selfish because it's really where we are in our life at the time.
yeah.
Because like you said, women will adjust. And speaking of that kind of question, women will adjust. So we all, cheating is a thing, and we're going to put it out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if we all cheat. I ain't going to get into that detail. But cheating is a thing. But there's a double standard in cheating. And I want to dive into that conversation. If a man cheats a lot of times, not saying all the time, women, I'm not saying you don't do it, but a lot of times, if a man do the right thing and have the right conversation and plead and beg, he can probably, stay in his relationship or at least get her back. But I'm speaking for the fellas, and I'm sure y'all don't agree. If a woman cheat, yeah, it's a dead daughter. It's not even a conversation because it's a certain thing that's been hit.
Yeah.
And it's like a pride in a man. And don't let him. And that's why I know him. Oh
yeah. Lay it down.
It's dead for him and you. So why is that though? Why women? Why do you feel like women keep going? Like you want to keep giving another shot, and he definitely, he cheated. It's obvious. It's out there.
I can't speak on that because that's a
Deal breaker
non-negotiable for me. Like, and that's more so my upbringing because I've been through it. So me personally, I don't even attract womanizers and men that are so into themselves that think it's a tap on their thing to like fuck a lot of women. That ain't cute to me. That immediately make me go, womp, desert. Like I'm not messing with you. Like I can't do it. So I can't do it. But for a lot of women, it's not a deal breaker to them. And a lot of women don't say nothing when they know that they man cheating because they not willing to let them go. So they like, I'm going to let that man cheat in peace. You ain't going to do nothing. You're not going to leave him. What you going to do? Curse him out? Be mad? Put him in another room? Kick him out for a day so he can go see the girl? And then he going to come back? So they going to let him do it. So it's not a deal breaker for them. And men keep doing it because, hey, if I slap you every day and you don't stop me, and then I slap you the 5th day you want me to stop, that makes no sense, bitch. I've been slapping you every day. Like,
That's real.
Like, I'm just being honest.
That's real. That's real.
I think another thing though is like I can't speak for every guy or every girl, but it's like I feel like for guys a lot of the times like we don't open up super easily. So it's like, you find yourself in a relationship with somebody, you all obviously trusted them to a certain extent to open yourself up to them. And then it's like once like that kind of boundary is crossed in terms of like trust, it's really hard for you to kind of go back and just like forget about it. So
that wasn't the question. He
He
said, "Why is it okay?"
Okay.
No, it's not. But it's
But why
so
do
easy
women
for us to do it. But
forgive
when women cheat on men, it's like, nah, you out of here. You a bird.
He said it was because it take us so long to open up, and we have given you a certain part of us, and you cheated on me.
But what if that woman? It takes a lot for her to open up.
That's why I'm
that's what I was saying. I
I'm
can't speak for everybody, but that's how
it's a pride thing.
Yeah.
It's a man. It's a pride thing.
It's 100% a pride thing.
It's like
and and I feel like a lot of dudes kind of not a lot. I mean, but some of them like they'll take pride in taking somebody else's girl. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you especially like Fabe said, if you know them and just like you may run into them every once in a while, it's like, oh yeah, that nigga don't like me because I took his bitch. It's like, I don't. And it's like you don't want to have to be reminded of that on the regular. So
I mean, I also think it's the from the male perspective, it's the component of especially depending on where y'all are in y'all relationship. I know how you fuck me, so I know you're not about to hold back for another nigga, and that's the only thing I can see in my head. So it's just like
a good one.
I know how like disgusting and how real it can get, and like I'm just sitting up here just knowing that you did this with you doing this with another man.
That's so whack. That men can do this to women repeatedly.
Like how are women supposed to feel?
You know what that does to women? That plants insecurities that probably never existed in their life. So they take that from their baggage to relationship to relationship to their relationship with their kids, their relationship with their grand. That fucks people up.
And I'm not saying it's right.
Y'all need to say on this show today that y'all gonna stop right now.
And I think a lot of
I can speak for all the.
I don't participate, but he's so right though. It's sad that it's a double standard, but it's like, but if you want to keep it a buck, it's kind of like in y'all court because y'all are still deciding to take us back. Y'all are deciding. Like I think sometimes women give the energy to men as they're like, well, it's because no, you making the conscious decision to say, I want to stay.
But I think the reason a lot of women feel like they have to stay is because like women are more like emotional and they get more emotionally attached in relationships. So it's kind of like.
And that's another reason why. That's another reason why we say no, because y'all cheat with y'all heart. Y'all cheating with other stuff. I this is gonna lead to my other question about just men. We don't cheat. Cheating is having sex is like literally its own area. We can have sex with anybody we're attracted to and not necessarily be in love with them or have some kind of care. One night stand can be real and be gone. But for women, if you actually cheated, I feel like something ain't right at home, and you're actually cheating with other parts of your body.
But what makes you all think that it's like?
Oh, you said you can cheat and keep it moving too.
Well, I'm not a cheater. I don't. Yeah.
But you said there are women that can just cheat and still be in love.
I don't think the double standard thing. Like it could be the same for a woman. Like who is to say that just because women do it that way, they have to be emotionally attached. Like there might be some women who are just like you.
You just gotta say, you was like, yeah, women are like more emotional in that sense. So it's like,
no, I'm saying, but there's some women who actually can move like a guy, and
Yeah,
they're just
they
like,
with the shit.
yeah,
I'm
like,
just like
okay,
you.
like,
We just like we see each
like,
other.
God, like, I want to see what this is talking about.
Yeah.
And let's keep it pushing. Okay, back to my boyfriend. Like it's women like that as well. So I just think women are, we have the double standard in a lot of situations when it comes.
Okay, you said something, Crystal, when you said the ex conversation. You said strong woman, and then I'm not gonna back down. So my next question is, true or false? Men don't want an independent woman.
They say they do, but they don't.
Why you say that? I want independent as possible.
But like,
Please
what's independent
have
to
someone
y'all?
on.
Like,
for me, independent is you got your own thing going on.
Yeah.
My existence don't interrupt that, and vice versa. And you pride yourself on what you got going on. Like I pride myself on what I got going on. So I think for me, independent is just being able. You have your own world, and we got worlds together, and they work together. But you have your own world. I think a lot of times women throw themselves into the man's life, and like their existence become him. Yeah. And so now the man is like, they don't want to say I need some space, but they need some space. Mm-hmm. They don't, and so a lot of stuff. That's why we kind of like start straying and start just trying to get away from. Because sometimes women don't have their own existence no more. Like you ain't doing everything. Is like call me, hey, what you doing? Oh, I'm finna come over there. It's like every day you finna come over here.
Yeah, but
so you don't have those life. You ain't got no friends. You ain't got and a lot of times they have those friends. Like, well, girl, where you been? Because she just we didn't even ask you to come over every day, but they do it. Women do it naturally.
But men say they want.
What is that? I was gonna say because I don't think that like. There's some people that you can date and you can come over there. I don't think it's just like a woman thing. Like there's some guys that will want to be with you every day. Like I know some guys. I want to. My love language is quality time. So to every day or every other day. Period. Like that's just what it's gonna be.
When she asked the question about the independent thing, that's what independent means to me.
I'm gonna give you an example. So I went on a date with this guy. Been talking to him for like a month. This is a while back. So for who all looking, don't try to put the timeline together. We was talking for like a month. So I'm like, all right, we finally gonna meet. We met at a coffee shop. We kicked it off. Went across the street. We taking shots. I'm like, I'm with the shits. He's like, this bitch is fun. No ex will ever say that Crystal Kelly is not fun. I'm the most fun you'll ever have in a fucking relationship. Neither there. We go to watch the game. We eating wings or whatever, and we still drinking. We drink together all day. He's a painter. Maybe I shouldn't be telling his profession. But we went to like a thing or whatever. But I'm like we getting deep. We asking questions. We in the goddamn. We playing all kind of games. Like damn, like we really getting deep. But I'm like, listen, I can't go to another bar unless like I gotta go drop my car off. Yeah. He's like, oh, I just follow you or whatever. So he followed me. He came upstairs. As soon as he got to my complex, and that's when I was living in Book. As soon as I got to my complex, I was like, come up because I'm about to change my shoes. He came in there. As soon as I came out my room, he was like, I ain't got it. I said, you ain't got what? He's like, I ain't got it. I was like, got what? He was like, I can't do this. He's like, so I'm gonna call it a night. I'm like,
but then he just saw the crib and was like,
saw my car, saw the crib, was like, oh yeah, saw the image, was like, oh bitch, you really on it. He was like, yeah, I ain't got it, cause he was in the mind of I'm a starving artist thing, but I don't ask for much from men. Like I don't need that. Like all I ask is that
I ain't got
you be crazy, asset, and that's what I'm doing. So I put this on everything. I hope he watch it, cause you fumbled, but he literally looked at me like, yeah, I ain't got it. I was like, you don't have what? I didn't ask you for that.
And that was my automatic. Here's the door. Okay, thank you.
And it was like 5 minutes after that. I was like, yes, I don't want to go out anymore.
You feel like men say they want independent, but they don't really.
Because all day he was talking about how independent his mother was, and he's raised by all these women and all this stuff. But as soon as you see it dead in your face, you like, oh, this is too much kind of thing.
I feel like men want women to be independent to a certain extent. Like they like women to be able to depend on them, but they also want them to have something, like to a certain extent, not completely independent.
And I can agree to a certain extent.
Yeah, honestly, I don't feel like there's something like completely wrong with that either. Like it feels good to be wanted or needed in a relationship. Yeah, sure. So it's like, a lot of times you may feel like, oh yeah, this person's like too independent, but it's like I feel like it's you can have your own stuff, but not like be dependent on me to do. But like it feels good. Like yeah, I'll open a pickle jar if you can't open it. Like but just little stuff like that. But But in relationships, I feel like that men like when women are independent, it like gives them a type of
insecurity kind of like they don't want a woman to be doing better than them. Like you can't be,
I don't care.
the woman can't be the breadwinner. There's a lot of guys out there like that. Like the woman can't be the breadwinner. I got to be the breadwinner.
But I think more now in today's time, I don't think a lot of guys don't care either. Like it's not if we're not counting pennies as in our relationship. Correct. You know, it's not a thing. I feel like sometimes the independent thing can be like the nature of the woman, like how she, because sometimes women can be aggressive.
Yeah,
when they're independent.
You could be like, I mean, so for one, as far as the independent component, it's like, you know, for me, I like an independent woman. I want you to need me, but not to need me, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like you said, like, you know, I know you can open this jar of pickles by yourself, but you're also like, hey, I have this man in my life who wants to do these type of things for me, and I'm not going to let that get in the way. Some people, some women get so caught up in their own independence that it'd be the simple shit that they just won't let men do. They won't let men be men for them because they're so caught up in everything else. And I don't necessarily know if it's because of, you know, maybe previous experiences in which men have let them down, so they're just waiting for disappointment or whatnot. But it's like it can be heavy. Come on. It can be, you know, quite problematic. Like, you know, as far as like the whole money piece, I mean, yeah, that's all fine and that's great. Like, you know, at the end of the day, if we make it to that point, that's benefiting both of us. And, you know, we should both be helping build each other up to, you know, reach all of these goals, you know, together. So like, if I'm getting intimidated by that shit, I'm a weak-minded man to begin with.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of, because of like the whole narrative where people are like, oh, I want somebody that's independent all the time. I feel like, especially with a lot of the podcasts like Discourse, a lot of the topics have been very much like, you know, if it's a topic like this, it's very much like man versus woman. Yeah. And I feel like, you know, although we have biological and behavioral differences, I feel like that's really important. I feel like God did that on purpose. Yeah. You know, and it's like, you know, there might be times where those differences may frustrate us as the other sex, but I feel like they complement each other at the end of the day. And
I'm blessed to have me wherever I am in my career, but I'm like the cheapest, most saving person ever. So we ain't even got to talk about money because we can sit at the house and just drink whatever. Right. And the thing is, that's what I feel like. Men can feel like, oh, somebody's combative or maybe they bring in all these negative things from their past relationships. But that's when I seek or I yearn male maturity, like adult maturity. Like, I don't need you for other stuff, but I need you to pray with me. Yeah, for sure. I need you to show up. Yeah. If something's going on, I gotta go somewhere that I don't want to be. Like, if I don't want to be somewhere because some people, can you be there to hold my hand? Can you be there? Like, let's go get a drink. Like, that kind of stuff I need. That outranks anything when it comes to money. And you're looking at your pocket, thinking that you're thinking with your pocket, but you're really not. Absolutely. Yeah. That's good. That's real good. That's real good. Let's go to this next question. Let's go to this next question. Okay, so we all are single, like we talked about. So what in your singleness is it like? Are you dating? Are you looking for something in particular, or are you just happy in your singleness? Like, is it? And if you are looking for something, what are you looking for in a significant other? Like, I feel like all of you are at a point in your life. I mean, we do have some 20-year-olds, not 20-year-olds, but early 20s. Yeah. Do you feel like you know what you're looking for? Like, versus, you know, some of us who are in our 30s, we kind of know or we're close to knowing. Yeah. So,
I feel like I may not know exactly like what I'm looking for, like, you know, who I want, but I think I'm kind of learning what I don't like. And I feel like that's kind of a road to kind of knowing who can be your person, or at least, you know, for the time being, because it's like, you know, I feel like it's just as important to know what you don't like rather than, you know, what you do. Like, what I'm not looking for to kind of narrow down, you know, what I am. So
I completely agree with Devin, because like being single, like for a little bit, you're able to really like examine the different people that you date, and you're just like, like, and then like as soon as you get into like relationships or like interacting with someone, you're like, okay, this is a deal breaker. It helps you like weed out the certain people that you don't want. Like, so me, I feel like I'm dating, and I feel like I passed the stage to where I'm just dating for fun. So like if I'm dating you or like we're communicating, I'm trying to see what we can build and we can pursue. And if you're not on that at this point, it's kind of just like, because like nobody has time. Like, I don't have the time to just be wasting time on just different situations. Yeah. So it's actually, I don't know, like, it's actually funny as hell, like, you know, hearing y'all say this type of stuff at the age of 20, man. Well, in your 20s, sorry. I know, right? Because I know for myself, man, I was like, at y'all age, like, I was still a little self-absorbed, you know, just,
I was still outside, you know, still trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, at this big age I'm at now, like, once you hit, you know, cross over that 30 threshold, you know, life just hits way different. You know, you start thinking about, you know, things from a completely different perspective. You know, you're talking about, you know, you value your time. Like, I value my time that much more now.
Yeah.
Like, it's to a point, it's to a point now, like, as crazy as it is, like, you know, if I might be potentially interested in somebody, and like I see their social media, and I may see, you know, what type of stuff that they on that doesn't necessarily align with me, whether that's like, you know, they in sections, you know, popping bottles, standing on couches every night, every weekend.
Yeah.
I can't get down with that shit because the
that's
last
so
thing
deep.
I want to do is be worried
I
about
don't want it at all.
it be having to, you know, go scrape my shorty up out of a section somewhere.
And then
like,
carry outside, she grab on you.
Like they
I
got,
love you.
yeah, like, bro, I ain't got time for that shit, man. Like, you know, like for me, like I like dog, I like being in the crib. You know, just big posted. Like, you know, I go out, you know, for like the homies and stuff. But like, you know, things are just way different. And if I don't see, you know, certain characteristics or traits out of you, I'm not about to waste my time anymore. Like, and I think a lot of that stuff is just really about being honest and transparent with yourself. Like, you know, shit, like, if you know you just want to smoke some ribs, you know, you just tell a person straight up, hey, this is the type of time I'm on, and that's what that is.
Yeah.
But, like, if you know that you're really out here trying to, like, you really just trying to be, like, you know, really intentional and purposeful in what it is you're doing, you got to let these people know that as well. And then you just really got to move accordingly.
Yeah, it's true.
I ain't never heard smoke
I
some
don't even
ribs
know how to answer
as
that
a
question.
phrase for that. I'm gonna write that one down. I'm gonna start using that.
You forget the age that you know what you want.
In my
Yeah.
20s, I really wasn't talking about no dating. Like, I wouldn't even be on this
You was
podcast.
hustling,
I'd be
you was
like, I'm outside. Like, you know, me and Picky, we was traveling. Like, we moving from LA to New York. Like, that's all we was about. Like, I was about living my life to the best of its ability. And if I did have, like, you know, experiences that I thought it was love and it didn't, you know, pass by, then I was like, whatever, keep it moving.
Yeah.
But at this stage, I mean, I just got out of a 5-year relationship. I want him arrested. To put this on camera. I deserve a degree for 5 years. Over there.
Wow.
But I feel like I have to be intentional about what I want.
Yeah.
So I can't really go in and necessarily like, oh, I'm looking for this from this person. I got to make sure that I'm showing up to the table the way that I expect somebody. So I'm very, very, very intentional.
Yeah. I would say, like, that is kind of, like, the difficult thing of being, like, super young, like, fresh out of college and really kind of trying to find yourself, trying to find, like, you know, what I'm going to be doing, what I'm going to be doing in work, where I'm going to be living, and, you know, also wanting to, like you said, live your life to the fullest, be traveling and stuff. Like, you know, I'm trying to see the world. I'm trying to do all types of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have to kind of, and it's hard to find somebody that, like, is on the same type of, like, timing when you're not all the way sure what type of timing you're on. So
That's good. That's good.
It can be kind of a slippery slope sometimes trying to deal with somebody, but I think that's where just, like, communication, like clear communication, kind of comes in.
Exactly.
And don't get it wrong, there's some people that found each other in college that are
Oh,
like,
yeah,
they're married.
yeah.
My
They're the
parents-
lucky 10th.
Yeah.
that are
The lucky 5%.
Like, the 2%.
Nah,
Like, that's all it is.
my parents met in college, and it's like, you know,
Right.
I'm sure
They
that
still
type of
married.
thing. Yeah, and still married. So it's like,
Yeah.
and I've you know, been.
And it's okay if you didn't get that.
married.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
No, it's
sometimes
okay.
people feel like,
People
you know,
come to
go
college
to
thinking
find somebody.
you gotta.
They
And
think it's
then
gonna
I
be
got
like
to college. I'm like,
drumline.
yeah, this is not that.
This
So
ain't
what
the
y'all?
bull.
Right.
We outside.
They
Okay,
gonna
yeah, I
think-
see what y'all on.
Yeah, they think
Because
it's
it
stop
was
the yard.
not
Yeah.
that at all.
They think they gonna come up here and be like stomp the yard,
Yeah.
find it,
No,
make
it
it
was not
good.
that.
But
Okay,
yeah.
Go ahead. Go
No, I
ahead.
was just gonna say, like, with me reaching like my mid-20s now, I'm getting a little old, y'all. Getting a little old. But yeah,
sure.
I just feel like in my earlier 20s, it's still early, but like that was like my more outside stage. And like when you continue to like be outside and like deal with the same things, you're just kind of like, this gets old. Like it's a reoccurring cycle. So it's just like at some point you have to be like, okay, what is it directly that I want?
So do you know what you want?
Yeah, like I'm dating with a purpose.
In your 20s, you're dating like
Yeah.
to find him.
To see, yeah, because I mean, like, it's just a whole bunch of time wasted just.
You got like a timeline
Outside,
planned
yeah.
out. Like you got like.
No, I mean,
wanna
in the
I
time,
be married by
I'm
this
saying,
age,
like,
family
I'm
by this
dating with
age.
a purpose, and if the person's not on what I'm on, then we just gonna have to weave it out. Like, it's just no point to keep wasting time. Like,
Moving on.
Okay, so let's get into really the nitty gritty of, like, you know, I hate to say the nitty gritty of relationships, but it's a part of it. Let's just keep it above. So sex. Do you feel like sex is like a part of the relationship crisis that's going on, or do you feel like because sex now is such a like who cares thing that's because it's not such a sacred thing that's being done no more? Do you feel like that's kind of worked against singles in a sense where you're not getting nowhere in a relationship because the sex not really even just because say I had sex with somebody, it's not their meaning no more.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you was having back. You know, at least when we was in high school or something, you said you having sex with somebody. That was like, oh, you having sex with them.
Yeah.
But now with y'all it's like
together.
Y'all get married. Y'all go together.
like, yeah.
Go together.
But now it's like sex. I mean, it's just
Right.
sex. So do you feel like sex now is it important, and does sex come into play when it comes to finding somebody?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yes.
Like, I feel like sex is definitely a deal breaker in a relationship because you can be emotionally connected to that person. You can be building something, but like, especially for men, and well, some women are different, but for men, sex is very important. Like, that's just a thing. And for women, like, you just have to be able to please your
So
person.
is sex important to women, or are women just easier to sacrifice to be with somebody? Because a lot of times, a lot of women will be in a situation where the sex is not necessarily what they want.
Yeah.
But I love him, or
It really depends on the
he
woman.
treats me good, or nowadays y'all this reality TV.
Yeah.
A lot of y'all marrying people, Africans, and who got estates, and they probably ain't doing nothing for you in the bed, but you don't even care.
Yeah.
I feel like it really depends on the woman, but for a lot of for the relationship to thrive, I just feel like sex is an important factor.
Chris, what you was gonna say?
Nothing. I mean, it's a deal breaker to me.
Yeah.
But I know I was having a conversation with some friends, and one of my friends, I guess, was having sex with this guy. I was like, well, is he good? Like, she was like, why does it matter? She was like, Crystal, it's time to grow up. I was like,
No.
grow up? To me, it's a deal breaker. I mean, it would be a deal breaker, but I mean.
And especially, you really have to evaluate, like, if this is a person that you're trying to marry, this
And
is the
be with,
person you're going to have to be having sex with for the rest of your life.
no giving
If that
backsies.
person can't please me,
Yeah.
like,
So
where...
Come on,
alright.
fellas. I was waiting to let the
No, I'm
guys.
about
Let the
to,
guys
all right,
speak.
Let's get into
so
it.
let me come off the bench with it.
Okay.
So just a couple things. So I used to operate in a space, where sex was like, a really big thing for me. And I was dating somebody, and for me it was just like I was just more so like in tune with her as an individual, that the sex was complimentary, and it wasn't necessarily something that was like essential for me, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
But was it good?
I mean, it was good. It was good, but
was it-
Because
it
you
was.
was into her as a person,
So it was good, but was it a situation where like, oh yeah, this is like the best sexual encounter I've ever had?
No.
But the thing is, like, I was so into her as a person that like I just looked beyond that, and quite honestly, a lot of this shit, man, you can teach people stuff. You got fucking.
No, that's what we're saying, but...
You got porn, like you have options, so it's not like
You can't teach
But it was good enough to the
Sometimes
point. It
That
was
teacher
still good enough to the point.
that teacher don't be teaching.
Look, it was still good
They
enough
be
to the
getting
point
Fs.
where you would do something with her.
Yeah. But
Like, not
that,
saying the sex gotta be like, ooh,
exactly.
but
That, it's
it has
different
to
when
be
it's
good to
when
a
it's
certain
bad
extent.
to the point where
They
you
gotta
like,
start off good. It's just so they gotta get better.
We gotta make some
gotta-
progress.
Yeah.
We can
There
teach
are,
a few
so, yeah.
things. We
I mean,
can
there are levels.
progress over time.
No,
Yeah.
there's definitely levels, because
Yeah.
I've dealt with situations, and it's kind of some little.
But if it's
dead
really
cat,
terrible, you can really see yourself like
he said
still.
dead cat.
Oh man.
See? And that's- but it was good enough to the
so-
point.
Yeah.
That situation.
I mean, it was good enough to the point. But
Yeah.
it's just,
exactly.
But it's like if
And-
the person also has to they also got to be some level where like y'all got to have some type of conversation, like, hey yo fam, like
But-
ain't hit no name.
But ladies, also
On Nathaniel.
speak to the fact, ladies, that because y'all sitting there both saying that it's a deal breaker, but can it also be a cloud in your relationship? Because a lot of times women, no shade, but a lot of times women stay in stuff because the sex is good, but ain't nothing else good.
Why you sit back on that?
Can y'all both agree?
It depends on the woman. I mean, a lot of women, I would say yes, but
So you
some-
Man, stop saying it depends on the woman, man. We talking about you. We got
too
your
long
opinion.
because the sex is good. And you know the dude wasn't that good of a dude, but the sex
But
is
that's
good.
when you realize that's a sex situation.
Like in my 20s, I did something like
Yeah,
that. But
but
like, as I
like-
get older now.
To pursue something with you, like, oh, like,
So you ain't ever got serious with a guy that had good sex, but you know he needed some work as a
Because
person.
it's like, no, we're not gonna ever get anywhere. Because it's just like in my mind, I know that you're lacking certain like characteristics for me. So
It ain't gonna work.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. Like
I
long
don't know.
term.
I feel like it's one of those eventually things. Like you'll look up and it'll be 2 years in the past,
And you been 2 years in.
and you still waiting on some
long
shit to
term,
change.
like wise, it's gonna end up ending because you're gonna still be thinking
Because
about
you
those
can be
certain.
clouded about the great sex.
Yes, but eventually that cloud's gonna wear out.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay, I'm just saying some of y'all been in some
fog
long
will condense.
relationships.
some long clouds.
You talking about me? Look, he's talking about some of y'all.
I'm not talking about
It's like the mirror fogged up, but eventually.
She's over here telling on herself right now.
No, I ain't saying no names. I ain't doing that. I ain't pointing nobody. Can a man love his significant other and still cheat?
Yes.
It's to men.
Yes.
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 I agree. Yes.
Nah, you
Devin, what you gonna say? You gonna say yes?
Nah, I
Y'all
can't.
are always gonna say that, and we're gonna always
What
say
do
the opposite.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all are all,
that goes to another part. Like I said, like I feel like
We don't cheat because we don't love you. That ain't what we're
Right.
cheating about. So a lot of times men are cheating because of just the fascination of like different people,
Yeah.
like a different experience.
I think-
But it's sad to say this, but that's sometimes how low sometimes sex is on the totem pole in terms of like
Correct.
it make me love you.
But is it
Sex
really
don't make
love?
us love you.
I think men a lot of times like cheat out of temptation, whereas like women might cheat because it's like there's something seriously lacking in your
In the
relationship.
relationship, yeah.
Here we go back with this double standard.
And
I mean,
there's a lot of double standards.
We're saying it's not
honestly.
true.
I'm not saying that it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Double standards exist for sure.
And I feel like some double standards are valid. Like, it's not because we think differently. Like, there are different things that like may mean a lot to me that don't mean as much to you, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So,
But it's like you still have some men out here who do not cheat. So it's just like it's a few, like 2%. But I'm saying like for those men, they were able to keep it together. I don't see the whole.
I mean, personally,
I
like,
still love you and I cheat. Okay, then why Teddy over here still being faithful and you over here?
I mean,
So I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, all right, I understand. Like, you do have the percentage of men who don't
Yeah.
cheat. But all right, I'm about to be that guy for a second.
that guy now.
Sometimes these dudes who don't cheat, they weren't getting women like that anyway.
Oh,
like,
see
so
what
they
he's
just-
saying? They're
so they
cornballs.
just- so
They're
so
cornballs.
so true
So
be
they
told,
just-
they just happy to
excited
be
to be in a
They just
relationship.
happy to be
That's
here.
true though.
Sometimes they just happy to be there. I'm not saying that's always the case, but
Or it's wrong. Now you're saying it's not
there's
wrong, but it's
with
just
that.
truth.
So
It's the
every
truth.
man is most likely going to cheat, is what
no,
you're
I
saying.
will. No. Okay, we don't want to say that either.
We're not saying that either.
Because
I'm not saying that.
personally, I wouldn't cheat because it's like I've been cheated on,
You
and
say
I
that
know.
now.
No. like I said, like I've been.
About 5 more years later.
See, look at y'all praying on my downfall, man. I don't like that. So, like, I know what it feels
Get
like
into
to
that
be.
industry, give him a couple
Stop
more
it, bro. God damn. Let me get my shit off. But I know what it feels like to be cheated on. So it's like, even because in my past relationship, there was nothing wrong, I think, like in our relationship, but I got to a point where it's like I was starting to kind of have, thoughts and temptations with other people. So we had that conversation where it's like, I know what it feels like for somebody to have these temptations and act on them while we were still in a relationship.
You don't want to do that.
And I don't want to do that. So it was like, we talked and, we ended up kind of breaking things off and, went from there. So
You cheat on me, take that shit to your grave. Don't tell me nothing.
Hey, Crystal, you know what?
And like I said,
I'm with you,
I didn't
low-key.
cheat.
Like, don't
I'm with you, low-key.
No, for real.
What's the song that used to be? I don't want to know. I don't.
Don't
No,
tell
like
me
for real.
nothing.
And don't let me find out.
Don't let me know.
Don't let
Because
me
it
find
can,
out.
it can do a lot. It can be more than just, oh, we gonna break up. But then also now you said, now I'm left damaged. You're left in a situation
Yeah.
where
Cheating
now I
damages
I feel like what did I do wrong?
Cheating
What I
damages
don't
people.
have?
Cheating
What I
damages
don't.
relationships.
Yeah.
And why y'all think y'all just
No,
have
cheating
experiences?
damages
Y'all
people.
started
Yeah.
extra shit with other because bitches are stupid. Like, oh my god, her nigga. Like,
Yeah,
they-
exactly. That's
they
what
think
I'm
they
saying.
a little-
Yeah.
I just fucked
They be so ready. Her boyfriend in my DM.
Right.
My DM.
Twitter, whole Twitter thread. It's like, God damn, I said all
That's
that.
got me looking stupid.
And that's
Now you
where
got me
it's
looking
like-
boo boo the fool, and I gotta sit beside you.
And that was like to the point, if he don't tell you gonna find out, cause
These bitches
somebody
ain't
friend
loyal.
gonna tell somebody friend I'm sleeping with her boyfriend, or
Sign
somebody
idiot.
some DM, some screenshot gonna end up in your phone. You gonna get some call on a no caller ID, and then you gonna be like, what the
Wow,
fuck?
y'all got details. She went to the no call ID. That means it's really going down.
This happened.
That sound like it was based on a true story.
I'm just giving an example.
You said that's just something I heard.
Some unknown
Somebody
cause.
said that.
I heard, look,
No,
from a
it was-
friend.
Okay.
My friend, no, it was you.
So, like I said, we have different generations in the room, and me and Crystal are always talking about how this new age group and the things they do. Like, so my thing that has been mind-boggling for me is like the whole like the how aggressive the women are about taking care of them and being able to fly them out and being able to do all this stuff within like months of knowing each other. Like, what happened to like? You date and you just get to know each other before you even spend a significant amount of money on somebody.
I feel like sometimes.
But now it's like you getting cash out requests and you DM. So what women? What do you? I want to ask. Is this true for you? If you can keep it above, keep it above.
I already know what you're gonna say. It depends on the woman.
And is there some truth in it for women as a whole that the reason women feel like they now have to like put it out there that they want to be kept? So what my question is this true that nowadays that y'all are in the mindset of like, I'm just gonna beat you to the punch and tell you what I want out of you before I even like offer?
A lot of women, yes. A lot of women, and I feel like a lot of women's opinions when it comes to certain things are influenced by social media. So a lot of everything that's going around is tricking, and he need to spend money on me, and a lot of women are getting influenced by other women like, oh, she doing, how can she get this money, or she doing, so let me see if I can do it. So it's like everyone's kind of like following each other and off of social media.
My thing is the flued out thing. Why does everybody want to get flown out?
Because it's a social media trend, and that's what everyone I've got flew out. They talking about in their songs like everything's just a trend, so everyone's just hopping on the bandwagon and just being followers. So I mean,
I've been flued out before, but it wasn't no fly me out. It was like, hey, I want to see you. Like, let's go do this. And I'm like, all right. So they just bought the ticket. But it wasn't on no stuff like that. But I mean, whenever they was passing out the how to get these men to do all these tricks, I must have been read the damn book because I pay all my damn bills. So if you,
Speak your truth, Kai. You talking about you got flued out.
So guys, since we're gonna flip it on the guys.
That's good.
Are you flying them out?
Fuck no.
Nah. Personally, I'm not in a financial position.
I have not.
It depends on the
flown
guy.
anyone out.
No guys on this panel are flying girls out.
somebody
I'm not, you know.
And the thing is,
Hold up, it's not about money.
You might get gay.
Yeah, yes it is. Yes it is.
For me, it's not about money.
So let's just go ahead and just say that like it's not about money because to kind of like dovetail into what we already talking about. A lot of these people, they'll just automatically say, oh, you a broke nigga, you ain't got this, that, and the third because you're not doing what this other clown over here is willing to do. I mean, that's between, he can keep God first. That's between him and God. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I know what I am and what I'm not doing.
And I know what I'm worth.
Exactly.
It's just, I mean, I grew up with old school folks, like my old people. So I've never been into the whole thought, and y'all may say I'm real old for this one, but I've never really been into the whole living together concept before marriage, at least before engagement. I've never been into the whole like going on vacations real heavy if I'm not married to you. I've always been like looking forward to those things with my wife. Like I want to do that with my wife, and I feel like now everything is done before marriage. It's like almost like more marriage is nothing. Like you get married, you bored. You gotta have kids immediately because y'all done did everything.
Yeah.
But I think,
before you even got married.
But I think for the guys who do it, it's kind of like it's like boosts their confidence and their ego. That's why they do it, because it's just like the fact that I can do this, I can fly this girl out, I can provide this. Like it just gives them that ego boost that they need, and I think that's why a lot of guys do it.
So my ladies who have been, like you said, y'all both have been flown out. I'm sure y'all have been in this situation.
You heard that?
Yeah, we did.
I'm sure y'all have been in this
Let's
situation.
revisit.
But my question is, are you aware of the expectations of you being flown out?
Talk about it.
Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a band.
Yeah, it was like already like mutual.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
they was like it was a different set of like flued out.
Because
now,
it was
Carisha, them like fly me out, like that's a different type of thing. Like I'm talking about before that
The era.
Because my situation.
What about you, Kylie? Because
like,
you're in the era.
yeah.
Because my situation was like I was talking to that person, so it's like I mean we already talked. It's not like I just met you. Let me fly. Let's see what this talking about. Like we don't really.
You already know what this talking about.
Yeah, like we were talking, so it was just like
Gotcha.
No, that's kind of wild to me because he was like, it's not. He was like, it's not about money. I mean, like I said, if I was very seriously, dealing with somebody and, I had the funds, I wouldn't mind like, hey, yeah, come see me or I'll come see you or, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
But, like to the point of like you saying women are a lot more aggressive like in that space. I feel like
it's not even come see me, it's come with me to car.
Right.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and sometimes it can be kind of like, OD, like, I was telling the story earlier. So one time, I'm on Instagram and I see a girl, I thought she was cute, so, I slid up and said something. And she was like, thank you, we went back and forth for a little bit. And then she was like, she hit me back and she was like, every time you slide up, a Cash App notification would be appreciated. And
like, what?
And when
That
I first saw
time
it,
I talked to that girl.
bro, and
She prostitute.
Bro, I need a screenshot and
She's
post
selling
it.
ass.
Right.
She said every time you send me a Cash App notification would be appreciated. And that kind of came like 5 minutes after the conversation ended. So I'm looking at it. No. Like we had gone out before, like, and she was cool. So that's why I was kind of. So I'm looking at it. I thought she got hacked.
She said, "This the time."
Bro, I was looking at it.
He thought I'm dope. He's all about the vibes.
I'm looking at the message, bro. I'm like, okay, dude. She said,
at the end of the month, that's when the girls.
Right, and she said, Cash App notification would be appreciated. I was like, okay, but so I was like, well, I don't got your Cash App.
Oh.
So she sent it to me, right? And I requested $5.
That's good.
I said there's a Cash App notification. And then because when I figured out she wouldn't get hacked, I was like, I thought we was doing jokes. I thought we was making each other laugh right now. Like, and she was like, no. I was like, okay,
That's so funny y'all
weird.
sliding
Like,
DMs though. We was sliding people honesty boxes. What y'all know about honesty boxes? What you know about
Honesty box on Facebook.
That we had Facebook. It was honest.
It went open for like an hour and a half.
And you can see what everybody wrote about you.
And I had never wrote in nobody honesty box, so I was sitting back laughing at everybody.
I'd be sick.
I had never wrote nobody honesty box. Okay, y'all, I'm down to my last two questions. Because we can talk all day about this, but I want to now get, so how is the single life? Is it something where you're enjoying being single, or are you like single by choice or by force?
I think at my stage right now, like, I do enjoy being single. Like, there are times where it's like, being in a relationship would be nice, but there's other times where it's like, I enjoy being single. And I don't want to continually have thoughts like, I enjoy being single if I'm in a relationship. Like I said earlier, like, we are figuring out a lot of stuff. Like, we're traveling, we're trying to do this and that. So to be kind of like in a relationship, I don't think would necessarily be a bad thing for me right now, but I don't think it's something that I've been actively looking for. But if it happens, if something comes across, like, I'm really enjoying this time with somebody and I like not even thinking about being single no more, okay, cool. But but I'm not like unhappy being single either. Yeah. So
I feel like a lot of people try to make like single be like a crime. Like, for example, anytime I first go on a date with a guy, anytime I meet a guy, why are you single? Because I'm such a pretty girl, or I'm like this girl that guys feel like I have to, like, I get a lot of attention. I get a lot of guys. They're always like, why are you single? You're too beautiful. Like, what's the issue with being single? Like, I'm single by choice. Like, if I wanted to be in a relationship right now, I could. Like, it's not like, it ain't nothing like holding me back from being in a relationship. So it's just like the right moment, kind of like he said, aligning with the right person. I just feel like those situations that I was in, it just wasn't the right situation for me to continue and make it, like, take it there. So, but yeah, I just don't like the whole issue with a person being single. Like, they make it into a problem. Like, because you're single, something got to be wrong with you, or like.
But you are dating
you're
with
crazy a little bit. That's what they be thinking.
Okay.
Valid.
Day, what's up? What's the vibes? What's the vibes? We grown. We grown.
Yeah, man, we big grown over here now, man. That's crazy. But I mean, like, right now, I would say, I can't say I'm fully happily single, but I'm happy discovering more about myself, because I was, in relationships that, lasted for periods of time. And now I'm in a space now where, I'm like super single. You know what I mean? So it's just like a lot of things that I may have just like kind of been like put into the back burner and stuff, I actually got to like, come to terms with, like, like a nigga go to therapy now. Like, that's just amazing, like, I'm spending time really investing in myself now, so, I could be good for later. I mean, but, like, I can't lie, like, it'd be cool to, have a little lady or whatnot. I mean, shit, I'm, 35? Like, I mean, what starts? I mean, y'all coming up on that space when you start turning 30, your parents are gonna start looking at you like, "Where my grandkids at?"
Okay.
Yeah, they gonna be like,
they got every assumption, every confusion.
Exactly. They gonna start whispering in your ear like you know what's going on, but.
Yeah. Person.
People love you.
You ain't gotta get married.
Like, what's
Just give me a
going on?
grandchild.
Right.
Give me a grandchild.
So it's like, I mean, so
Like
you do got to deal with a lot of those pressures, and then like, you know, the older that you get, you know, even though like you should like, you know, understand that life goes the way it's supposed to, and you go at the, you know, to beat your own drum, it's also hard sometimes when you start, you know, looking to your left and to your right, and all of your homies, you know, they start having, you know, spouses and kids, and then like you know, you're
already started.
You like, all right, about that
Me.
time.
Exactly, and then those,
I'm like, no,
and then
it's
those
not.
the weekend, you know, those weekend mass texts start, you know, thinning out because I can only hit up so many people because so and so with their
Yeah.
kids, you know, like you can't do so
That's
much.
true.
Certain
So
links
So
up.
that
Yeah,
is
you got
the
the baby at the
downside.
crib.
But,
Yeah.
It is. I can agree.
So I got the kids.
I don't know. I mean, I'm super single now too, and I haven't been single in a long time. But I don't like being single. It's ghetto. Like,
It's ghetto.
I don't.
It's ghetto as
I don't
fuck.
like being out in Atlanta around with different people.
Yeah.
Like,
Dating.
I don't like nobody seeing me. Like, I just saw her here with somebody else last week,
my God.
and then when I'm single, I'm like idle. When I'm by myself, I be wilding. Sometimes I be like Crystal.
Really,
Like, I'm
man.
here to check myself, nigga. I'll be able to call Chris like, nigga, you should have told me to go home. No, man. But, cut all this out. Be sweating and everything. Cut all this out. I'm going to kill y'all.
That's staying in the cut. That's staying in the cut.
Look at get all of it.
Should have came on the podcast.
But I don't know. I mean, it's unfortunate that their relationship didn't end in what I was praying for, what I wanted. But now I'm just trying to. I'm in a space that I'm not gonna settle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm
That's
true.
facts.
I'm dating with intention. I was dating somebody, or talking to someone rather, and trying to date them and trying to get to know them. And then when something just didn't feel right in my spirit, it wasn't something I wanted to invest in anymore. So I had to like make the hard decision and be like, I can't fuck with you no more like that. We cool though,
do y'all
but I
cut
can't
people
fuck
off?
with you.
Oh, for sure.
I do.
Yeah.
I
It's
cut
bad.
people quick.
Yeah. He's like that ghost completely. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but I'm intentional. I'm trying to be intentional in my walk.
I would say
Okay.
I'm happy single, but I want kids. Like yesterday.
So you want kids more than you want
Definitely.
marriage.
I want
Wow.
kids way more than I want marriage.
And
So,
a lot of men think like this too.
yeah, so I'm looking for a
Right.
co-parent.
Not the camera point.
Yeah.
So you've just given up on the
No.
whole.
Danger.
I'm not saying I'm against getting married.
But if you can only
What's wrong
have,
with our
But
You
people?
wanna focus
what I
on
want
the
now is
co-parent.
more so I really want kids. Like I really want to be able to invest in, you know, my blood that something came from me that is my, you know, I'm able to raise a child, you know, and so a lot of times it's beneficial for a lot of people because a lot of people I mentor everybody and their mama because I just like to, you know, do that. That's like, but you know, it's like at some point I want to do it to Fabe's kid. You know, it's mine. It's
that's
like,
so funny because I just told my therapist the opposite. I was like, I'm at a point that I realized like if I don't, I'd rather to conceive a child through companionship, whether that be
Yeah.
my husband, we love each other,
That's
we was
same.
in a relationship,
Yeah.
we have a baby, if we don't work out or we make it last, we the Huxtables, that's great.
Yeah.
Like, but I would love for my child to be a product of
I
that.
have the
And if that
same,
doesn't
yeah.
happen, then I'm just gonna have to be okay with having my 6 o'clock kids. like,
yes,
you know.
don't see it. That
Yeah.
doesn't happen for me,
Yeah.
which it hasn't happened yet. I'm okay with like sitting down and
You
having a
can have
conversation
kids to 80 though,
with,
so
with a young
you'll
lady
be
like,
fine.
you want to just
Yeah.
you want to go in this thing together and
Yeah.
yeah. I'm in that point. I'm at that point now. So I feel like all in all, as we wrap it up, because we can talk all day. What I want this podcast, this certain episode to give is like let people realize that you know it's we people out here you know successful doing what they got to do in the business world, but that doesn't mean everything's always going that way in you know relationships, and that's okay. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to, you know, be with your person. It's okay not to be married. Your friends, it's okay to go celebrate somebody else's success and love and be okay that you're not there yet.
Yep.
And that's, that don't mean nothing wrong with you. You know, I think a lot of times singles think like, especially when you're surrounded by love. I know some of us in the same circles,
Yeah.
everybody getting married. Everybody's getting married at this point. And it's okay. Like, and I've accepted, like, you know, and I used to be like, another wedding. Another point I gotta sit and look like,
Yeah.
what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
But now I'm at the point like, man,
You have to
I'm
evaluate.
so
it's
into
not
my
you.
bag and so into myself right
Yeah.
now. It's like, you know what, God,
When it
if you
comes-
drop her down, hey, it happens. But if you ain't dropping down, give me somebody I can have some kids by them.
Give me some against kids.
But All in all, I want to thank you all so much for coming out tonight and being on my podcast. I want to thank everyone else for supporting the Fabe Effect podcast. This is our 10th episode. This is the season finale for this season. We're going to start back up in the beginning of October. But I want to say that I thank you so much for supporting me. I wouldn't be here if you wasn't paying attention, you wasn't listening. And always remember, the best leader works to make even better leaders. Until next season, God bless.
Yeah, fair.
You better have seasons.
Yeah, shout out to the seasons. Shout out to the seasons. Shout out to the seasons.
Right, close out.
I feel like we're about to
The best leader
works
works to make even better leaders.
I see the fighter, I see the leader in you. I want to see it come true, but you've got